I left the guy that everybody looks at and is like, that's a dad, that's a husband, that's how it's supposed to be. I will miss him every day of my life. I will miss him. Lucky for me, we have kids together.
You can be the good guy and win, but you have to appreciate and value the woman that you're with. You can't just be the good guy. You can't just be the man that pays the mortgage, the man that takes care of his kids, and the man that's loyal. That's all great. But do you love your wife? Do you date your wife? Do you prioritize your wife? Do you leave her love notes? Do you cook dinner sometimes? Or is she just the woman at home?
So I thought I'd talk for just a minute.
Sometimes I wonder if Clark Kent, or Superman would be good enough for a woman to stay. Like there's a growing rash of women coming here saying, "Yeah, I left, or I want to leave the greatest guy on the face of the earth." I get when women say they have poor experiences with men, and I'm not going to discount that. I'm not going to go into your history and try to pick that apart. That's you. Nothing I can say is going to change that. But we do have women coming on saying, "No, the guy's good. Excellent father," right? But there are things that 20% he doesn't do that I'm unhappy with. And that seems to be enough to end things. And again, I'm not saying you have to stay into something that you don't want to be in. But when you get into that marriage and you get into that relationship, it should hold some more weight than just, well, this is how I kind of feel. And I'm always hopeful that these people are trying to work things out first with their spouse rather than coming online, because all the advice is always going to be to leave. The advice is continuously online going to say, yeah, break up that happy thing, come out here and play with the rest of us, because we're all miserable. And you get the saying, right? Misery loves company. Guys, before we continue to like, comment, subscribe, hit that YouTube notification bell, because the algorithm, the all-knowing algorithm, sometimes turns it off, so you won't see when these uploads come out. Again, hopefully this will be released on Sunday, and we've got a live stream at 7 Central Time. I hope to see you guys there. So I'm gonna let her continue talking about why Clark Kent isn't good enough. Clark Kent that doesn't plan dates, though.
About this divorce that I'm going through, because I'm sure just like I found some relatable advice through here, other people might relate to me. So I was married for 10 years. I got married young. I was 21, barely, like 3 days, 21. Already had a baby. He was 8 weeks old at our wedding. And I remember feeling like my marriage was temporary from the beginning, like that I wasn't going to make it.
So outside of the pressure by parents and probably, you being that young, why get married? Why get married? Why not just co-parent? Why tie yourself to someone and you have that feeling like this isn't your person? I'm asking why, because once you do that, you become responsible for that person's feelings and the child's. That becomes a priority. That becomes not even priority. That becomes your duty, and duty should surpass basically all other things, right?
And I didn't know what that feeling was. I just thought it was cold feet, but it kind of manifested itself for the next 10 years. And here we are 10 years later going through a divorce. So he didn't really start this process. I guess it was more so me, because I was always looking for someone.
Always looking for someone. It doesn't matter how good of a person you are. Again, we're speaking for both sides here. If someone doesn't think you're good enough, or someone's constantly looking elsewhere, the pull of the unknown, the pull of that potential, the probability out there, there's nothing you can do that can ever top that. If your eye is outward, then that's where your head's going to lead. Where your head's going, the rest of your body's going to go. This is why part of the problem in our relationship today is that social media is in it. And by social media, I just kind of mean the rest of the world. The influence in the rest of the world is in there. And you never really can compete with something like that. It's just too vast. It may not even be something that it's tempting. Each individual is not tempting, but the volume is, right? This isn't a quantity over quality, it's a quality over quantity. And sometimes quality has a quantity of itself.
Someone else because I didn't know how to be loved or how to accept love from somebody. And so while he was fighting for me, I was pushing him away. But I never truly accepted happiness. I left the good guy.
Yeah, you can't beat something like that, right? You can't ever defeat something like that. You left the good guy, and we tell guys all the time, good guys finish last. Even when you thought you won the race, no, it's nothing like that at all.
He did the dishes, he cleaned the house, he took the kids to school, he worked all day, he made good money, he supported us. I mean, yeah, we had our problems, but he was the good guy. So I'm here to tell you, it's okay to leave the good guy. Don't stay because he's the good guy. Leave because he's not the guy for you. Leave because you have to be happy. Because if you don't feel in love, then who cares if he's the good guy?
Your kids, right? The kids, the outcome of the kids care if he's not quote unquote your guy, but he's the good. Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating because you can't ever. This, and I'm talking to men now, and I think a lot of us, a lot of subscribers already know this and understand it. So hopefully, if this reaches a wider audience, you have to realize that when someone is putting their happiness on the comparison chart, you can't top that. The desire for them for someone to be happy, you can never ever top that. If that is part of the equation, then what people say, it's not, she's not yours, it's just your turn. Your turn could have been 10 years. You couldn't have 10 years, a family, a life together, and that was your turn. You didn't survive the happiness. You can't beat that. Now, something that she pointed out, she, was married early at 21, married for 10 years. That's a long part of her life where social media says you should be out here sowing your wild oats. You should be out here experiencing what life has to offer. Well, she did in reverse first. She has had the family, had the kid or kids, and now she's looking to go out there at 31 and see what else is out there. See if she can find her guy, right? Rather than the good guy.
And that is a harsh reality that I'm facing right now, and a lot of scrutiny from a lot of people. But it's okay to leave the good guy. I hope that helps you, because no.
Listen, again, I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't chase your happiness. If that's what you want to be, and even if people call you selfish, fine, it's your life. Who do you owe it to? Do what you want. That's whatever. This is still America. Some parts, right? Some parts. Do what you want to do, but do it alone before you couple with someone, before you bring other life into this world. Now that when you're selfish, now you look bad for being selfish. If you want to do those things earlier, go nuts. No one can tell you. No one has a right to tell you you shouldn't be doing those things. Not anyone. Not anyone on the internet. Not anyone in the family. But the minute you have kids, that all changes. I'm not even bringing the man into this, right? Forget that. We're used to being sort of the sacrificial guinea pig to the altar of happiness. We're used to that. Men are just becoming more aware and saying, okay, I've got to evaluate if this even is worth the journey. More and more men are saying, no, I'm opting out of this because I know what I've done and what I can be Clark Kent. But you want Bruce Wayne, right? You want the aloof bad boy billionaire, that he doesn't seem to care. He doesn't really return your calls late at night. He just disappears whenever there's some weird signal in the sky. But you like that. So you give up their happy home and you go out there and you chase Bruce Wayne, but he's got a weird sleep schedule. Right? We hear a lot of stories about women doing this or people doing this. and then years later trying to circle the block. We have the internet now. We have all the cameras in the world pointing at each other's faces. So maybe in a few years, she'll be one of those that comes and says, "Yeah, maybe I was too hasty." But time will tell. Just I'm always saying, think about your kids first. Think about your kids first.